So
This is Italy today.
This is the main hospital
on the news
in Bergamo, in Lombardy.
And
it's one of the
Lombardy.
most advanced hospitals.
Let's have a listen.
But it's the most hard hit of all the hospitals in Italy. The town is the centre of the epidemic here.
Sorry, I missed videoing a lot of this.
This isn't a ward. This is a waiting room. Wherever you go, people are on gurneys, in corridors, in meeting rooms. They're everywhere. All the medical staff urge other nations to see what's happening and lock their nations down right now or face this.
what I would suggest is just shut down to stop all the outbreak and not come in this kind of situation that is very, very difficult to
Sorry
manage.
about my shaking.
Can I ask you personally what it's been like?
I never felt so stressed in my life. I'm an intensivist and I'm quite used to, intense moment and choices and people are critical and will die without any, treatment, and you make the difference. But when you arrive at this point, you realize that you are not enough. And maybe we are 100 anesthetists.
So we do need to listen to what's being said to us. I mean, all the bulk buying, well, it's done now. You shouldn't have done it. But I can understand it because it's the fear that the media's set out, that we're all going to be locked down.
Is that when the infection curve goes up, it rockets. And all the resources, all the testing, all the supplies are used up instantly. Multiple hospitals all at once. What's staggering?
I mean, I missed a bit of the news before I started videoing it, and there's an awful lot of people just laying in the hallways and everything else with oxygen masks on and plastic bubbles over their head to try and control their airflow.
The crucial point is that about the same
They're gasping for breath. I can promise you, I know what that's like. I have lung problems, and if I have a bad week, maybe that's why I've not caught. Well, like I say, 18 months ago I did have a severe cold, and I believe that was pneumonia virtually,
nobody has experienced,
and it was horrific. I could not breathe, but I put that down to I've got bad lungs anyway. But this is the bubbles that.
Their message to us is simple.
And these are not just old people. They're not old. They're not all old people. I can see what we're looking at now as an old man, but they're not all old people.
Well, we can speak now to Sky's Sally Lockwood, who joins us from Rome, and very stark images there from our colleague Stuart Ramsey. Situation in Italy, are there any silver linings? Is there any sign that things are getting better?
So, they're not telling us don't go out. What they're saying is don't go out if you've got a cold. I mean, I was in the chemist the other day, as you know, picking up my medication, and there was 3 people. Now, the chemist, first of all, there was about 15 people in the chemist. Lucky for me, because I've got the dog and he's a big dog, although he's got his harness on that says service dog, so I am allowed to take him into shops and everywhere. Because he's a big dog, a lot of people are frightened of dogs. So I was standing over in the corner, out of the way, and I had a couple of metres of no one coming near me. And everyone in the shop, it was a reasonable sized shop, but there was about 15 people in that shop waiting for their prescriptions to be done. And during that time, there was 3 people come in to buy Lemsip. And of course, they're standing about in the queue waiting like everyone else. And 2 of them were sneezing and coughing. And I'm going to say, when I was a child, first of all, we didn't spit. I mean, if my mum saw us spitting, God, you'd get a whack. You did not spit. And that comes from tuberculosis and everything, because during her generation, that's how tuberculosis gets spread around, from spitting and coughing and everything. So she was brought up, you don't spit, and we was brought up, you don't spit, and I brought my children up, don't spit. I also brought my children up, don't throw rubbish in the street. And if one of my children threw 1 piece of rubbish on the floor when we was out and about, I'd make them pick up 4 pieces. And this is where society's changed so much now. I mean, spitting is it's horrific. I mean, I've seen lovely-looking girls phlegm up their throat and spit, and it's like norm. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Well, another thing, washing your hands. If we came into my house when I was a kid, the first thing my mum would shout out, "You wash your hands!" And it was literally with carbolic soap. That's what we had, carbolic soap. If you don't know carbolic soap, look it up on the internet. It's got Dettol and type stuff. It stinks, actually. But she'd go crazy if we didn't wash our hands. Kobe's just got out of bed. Well, he hasn't, actually. We took him for a wee and then he went back to bed, didn't you, Kobe? I've got to put the bed away. Right, so they're not saying don't go out. I don't really go out much anyway. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, you'll see I'm on my own most of the time. I'm either indoors on my own or I'm taking the dog for a walk on my own. I'll say hello to everyone, but they're normally a metre away from me. I'm not a cuddly type person. I am a very loving person, but I'm not I'd help anyone. But I'm not a cuddly type person. You know, I don't go up to people and call them sweetie and darling and babe. I hate that, babe. Oh, babe. I can't stand it. And I don't kiss people all the time, like, you know, when I say hello to them and all that. I don't very often shake their hands, to tell the truth. I look at it and I think, where's their hand been? Because loads of people don't wash their hands. Loads of people don't wash their hands. I mean, anyone that goes to a public toilet, wherever it is, if it's not your toilet, do you want to touch the door handle? Because I bloody don't. You know, I'll get a piece of tissue out of the toilet and wash my hands, then get the tissue that I've got and open the door with it. I don't want to touch door handles. And what can I say? Anyway, be sensible. Stop all of this bulk buying. If you've got neighbours that haven't managed to bulk buy, and you have, then share the wealth. In a couple of weeks' time, all of these supermarkets are going to be full up again. And because everyone's gone out there and bulk buyed, all that stuff's going to be sitting in the supermarket. Because you don't need it. I mean, why are you bulk buying? I mean, my daughter-in-law couldn't get any nappies. I'm going down to her. So I bought 4 packets of nappies. But do you know what? I'd buy 4 packets of nappies when I go and visit her anyway. So that's no different to me. That's all part of my, buying for the grandkids. You know? She's forever running out of nappies. But, and wet wipes. But the bulk buying of toilet paper, I mean, what's all that about? I mean, who decided that we've got to buy loads of toilet paper? What started the run of that bulk buying toilet paper? Who started that? You know, like that was a weird one, that. I mean, bulk buy baked beans or dog food or toilet paper. So yeah. I watched something on the internet last night, and up north, I will say that they were. No, I won't even bother saying that. But anyway, there's a shop up north and they had a packet of toilet paper, 4 rolls. And a man that's been shopping at the same shop for 47 years, there's new people taking the shop over. And they wanted £9.99 for a 6-pack of toilet rolls. Can you believe that? And then when he complained about it and he videoed it, the lady, the young girl in the shop, I think I don't know where she came from, weren't England, she phoned the police up. And we're phoning the police up for them to come down and arrest this man because he's videoing her trying to reason and selling a packet of toilet paper for £9.99. The world's gone mad. You can't go mad with it. You know, this is just absolute craziness. You need to put your hand over your mouth if you sneeze or if you cough. So many people don't. You know? And stop spitting. Stop spitting. Just stop spitting. I mean, what's all this about? Or if you're going to spit into a tissue and throw the tissue in the bin. And it's craziness. So, anyway, that's my news. But don't go through life being fear. You can't keep living in fear. Kobe's got his squeaky voice just gone over me. He wants to play now. Yeah, all right, Cope. So you can't go through life living in fear. You just have to be sensible. I mean, I've had lung problems for a long while. I eventually went to the doctors, 4 years ago, nearly 5 years ago now. They wanted to give me loads of different treatment. I said, no, thanks. I'll just stick to it. If that's what you're going to do, then I'll just stick to it. Give me the breathing pump, which I've got. And they give me this other medication that I take, which I have to breathe in. I don't take it every day, only when I need it. And I do get days when I can't breathe properly and I struggle, and I get other days when I'm okay. So I'm going to avoid people with colds, even if it is my family. I'm pleased to say that, sounds terrible this, but I'm pleased to say that all of my children and grandchildren over the last 5 months have had severe colds, which I believe has been coronas, and I've avoided going near them because they've got colds. So I haven't picked up this corona thing, but this is not a joke. It is not just a cold. I mean, when I spoke to my children every day while they was ill, and they was floored. They was absolutely floored. And like I say, I did get a cold about 18 months ago, and I was on 3 lots of penicillin, and I was very ill. In fact, I should have been hospitalised, but do you know what? The thought of being sitting in hospital and coming out of there with C. diff or MRSA, I'd rather isolate myself at home, which is what I did do. And to tell the truth, apart from taking the dog for a walk, I isolate myself from society most of the time anyway. It's terrible to do that. But you know what? The world's gone crazy. It's so selfish. It's unbelievable. So I got all my shopping out the car. I might add that there it is. I might add, you can see all the nappies there. Shh. Shut up, Gobe. I got some for the girl downstairs because she can't get out and about, and she's got a 7-month-old baby. So I'll take them down to her later. I also went over Home Base because they've got a big sale on, so I had to buy a lot of stuff for repairing the van, and I bought a swing there. That's what that blue thing is. That's for the kids. So a lot of that stuff there that's in the blue bags, that's stuff that I've got to use to repair the van. Dog food. Now, all of that there is, if I go through it later, you'll find that most of it I've had to buy. I bought over Home Base. It's bits to my tools and things like that. And plants. I've bought some bulbs for the garden. For when I go down to Giles, I'm going to make her a nice little country garden out of bulbs, different types of plants that come up every year. The blue bags, that's dog food, packets of dog food. And, there's kitchen roll there, and there's toilet paper. I only actually bought 2 packets of 4 rolls of toilet paper and 1 kitchen roll, and actually I could have actually bought more, but I thought, well, what's the point? I don't need it all. I can use the kitchen roll and cut that in half and make toilet roll out of it. So I'm going to take some down to the nappies down to the girl downstairs because she was having problems getting them, poor cow. And there's a couple of other people in the block that have got kids that can't get nappies. And but you know what? That shopping there, like I say, take half of it away because half of it is flowers, bulbs that I've bought over Home Base. I want to do this garden for Jai so that it's nice for her in the summer. A little memorial garden for her children. And, because she's lost 2 children. It would have been my granddaughter's 15th birthday last week on the 13th. But she died. And she died from hospital infections. So, yeah, I know what it's like to lose people. Believe me, if I told you my story, you wouldn't believe it. I don't believe it. But it's happened. And it's happened. So I'm aware of hospital infections. And I'll tell you a little story about that one day. So in the meantime, if you've got a mask, put a mask on. If not, put a scarf around your neck. Don't keep going into places where there's loads of people. Don't keep going up to people and kissing them on the cheek and cuddling them and things like that, because a lot of people are carrying this in their nose and they don't realise they've caught it 3 days ago off of someone else that they cuddled. So it is dangerous. You will have problems breathing. When you have problems breathing, it's horrific. It is absolutely horrific. So it is frightening, and it is real. So listen to what's being said. Listen to what's being said. I don't agree with the army being on the streets. I don't understand that. But people don't listen to what's being said. So they do go out and about and everything. And, yeah. Love yourselves. Love you lots. That's my rant. There's Kobe. Bye-bye.